Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now live at 4 on this Tuesday. Welcome to Sick Bay. Recovering here.
Yeah, we're getting there. So we're turning the corner slowly but surely.
A little better than yesterday.
Yeah,
you
I
are
do
too.
as well, yeah.
And you get your cast off maybe tomorrow?
No, a new one.
Oh, a new cast.
I won't get it off for about 6 weeks. So isn't this just a lovely, attractive? I'm struggling finding jackets that will actually cover it. But
I think sleeveless. Hopefully the weather will warm up. You can do that. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, here's what's making news on this Tuesday. Some heavier rain and warm temperatures might bring flooding to towns that are still recovering from last summer's deluges. Amanda Quintana is in Darlington with what they are expecting.
In Beloit, a 21-year-old is dead after a late-night shooting. Our Adam Duxter has what we know so far.
And a college admissions bribery scandal is sweeping through some of the nation's most prestigious schools.
Let's take a look outside. It was mostly sunny today and relatively mild. It didn't feel too bad outside.
A lot of melting. I think there's more water on the roads than anywhere else. And here comes the rain. Dana Fulton's in the backyard, and we have potential for a lot of rain.
We really do over the next several days. Once it starts up, we'll just continue to see isolated showers overnight tonight, all the way through early Friday morning. Now, today we had a high of 41. Really didn't start the day off too bad. It was a little cold early on in the teens. We did get some sunshine this morning, though. Right now, though, we are seeing those clouds really build on in, and then the rain will be arriving soon. So 41 is where we're at currently. This is the highest we're getting, and then temperatures, of course, falling for us overnight. The wind coming from the south right now at about 9 miles per hour in Madison, closer to the low teens, though, for Monroe and in Janesville and in Platteville. It's going to be a little breezy for us overnight. The rain just starting to creep in, though, for the western edge of the state, and then we are going to watch it slide across all of southern Wisconsin. So parts of Grant County, also looking towards Prairie du Chien. That's where we're seeing the showers right now. But notice that little blob of rain, again, continuing to move east and will be arriving for us here in no time in Madison. We'll be seeing those showers picking up just after your evening commute, really between 6 and 8 o'clock. We'll see the rain starting in Dane County. We're expecting our temperatures to not fall too much tonight. We'll stay above freezing overnight, and that is really going to help, of course, with the melting as we head into tomorrow morning. A lot of the snow and ice not expected to survive by the end of the week. Some of the bigger piles might. We'll take a closer look at how much rain we are expecting and the temperatures for the next few days in just a few minutes. Right now, of course, we want to take a look at what's going on the roads. Here's a look at the Beltline right at Gammon Road. Thankfully, both east and westbound seem to be rolling along just fine. Not expecting to see any major delays right now as we don't have any accidents to report. Even the Beltline west and eastbound all the way through John Nolan looking okay right now. Downtown on the Isthmus doesn't look too bad either. Bouncing up into Sauk County, we are really seeing a lot of green on the major intersections or the interstates there. And then looking towards Grant County again, we're starting to see the rain just to the western edge of the state right now. We're not seeing any major delays caused by that light rain starting to move in. Janesville, all looking fine. From the major highways to the Beltline, Verona to the Beltline will take you just about 5 minutes. Oregon to the Beltline about 7. And then from Springfield to University Avenue should just be a quick 4-minute drive for you this evening. So right now roads look okay. Again, we're cloudy currently in Madison, but the rain is on the way. We'll take a closer look at the timing with those showers in just a few minutes.
But it's going to stay above freezing.
Yes, yes.
So it'll be liquid.
Yes.
All right, that's the good news. All right, Dana, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. First at 4, police in Beloit are still looking to identify possible suspects in a triple shooting overnight that left one person dead.
Today, they say speculation on social media could be hurting their chances. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us in Beloit with what the chief of police is now saying. Adam.
Well, Mark and Susan, I'm on Elm Street in Beloit near where a 21-year-old man was shot and killed and 2 others were wounded in a triple shooting late last night. As for the 2 other victims, a 15-year-old and a 25-year-old were transported to Mercy Hospital late last night and are expected to be released sometime soon with non-life-threatening injuries. As for a suspect or a suspects, police say it's too early to tell at this time. They are very early on in their investigation. However, they do say they're asking the public to stop speculating on social media in hopes that it will keep them from ruining the investigation.
We really request the community's assistance in withholding judgment and withholding social media posts about who they think is involved or who they think a suspect is, because quite frankly, they are unnecessarily endangering other people in our community or creating situations in which others will feel the need to retaliate. That's very dangerous.
As for the 21-year-old victim in this situation, police are not releasing their identity at this time, but say that this is the result of a earlier dispute that these two parties could have had, and that the suspect and victim did know each other prior to the shooting. And just within the last 10 minutes, we've received word that Merrill Elementary, just northeast of here, about 7 minutes away, has been placed on a hard lockdown as a result of a police response in the area. We're headed there right now, and we'll have the latest coming up on News 3 Now at 5.
We'll see you then. Adam Dexter live in Beloit. Thank you.
The man suspected of abducting a 2-year-old Milwaukee girl Monday is also wanted for a double shooting and homicide. Officials say Darius L. Higgins is accused of killing 24-year-old Sierra Robinson in a shooting around 1 o'clock yesterday. The Milwaukee Police Department issued a statewide Amber Alert for missing 2-year-old Noelani Robinson Monday night. The Amber Alert says Higgins was supposed to return the girl to her mother at 1:30 p.m. Monday, but didn't follow through with the plan. Police believe Noelani was abducted by Higgins, who is considered armed and dangerous. Police ask if you see him or the child to call 911 immediately. With Dana's forecast of a lot of rain and warm temperatures, the city of Darlington is getting ready for the possibility of flooding later this week.
This would be the second time this winter that the Pecatonica River flooded into the downtown area. Our Amanda Quintana is there with more on what they're expecting. Amanda?
Yes, well, right now the river is just about 10 feet high, but it is expected to get to 14.9 feet on Thursday. That's when it will crest. Now, at 15 feet, that is when they have to close Main Street. So it is going to be extremely, extremely close. When the same area flooded back in October, it crested almost 2 feet higher than expected. The mayor says the people of Darlington are unfortunately getting used to this flooding since it also happened last February, but they're prepared again. He hopes they will not have to close down Main Street.
We don't like to see that because that raises troubles with the schools, with the school buses and transportation in town. We don't like to see that, but we have to close the river if it gets dangerous, if it gets high enough, we do have to close it.
He tells me the city does have storm flood shields that FEMA gave them back in the 90s. They act as door jams for downtown businesses along the river, but they haven't been pulled out yet because the city does not expect to need them. Most of the businesses are also raised, so there's less of a chance of damage, but still closing this main highway would affect a lot of people. Like he said, it would affect the schools. It would affect anyone trying to get into this area. Now, we did talk to a business owner. We'll hear from him at 5 o'clock about why he really hopes that flooding does not happen this week.
We will see you at 5. Amanda Quintana reporting live. Thanks, Amanda.
A UW student accused of hitting a UW-Madison police officer has been ordered not to drink alcohol. Logan Mitchell appeared in Dane County Court today for his initial hearing. He was arrested after the altercation with the officer in Whitty Hall. According to the criminal complaint, Mitchell was urinating in a hallway and did not respond to the officer's request to sit down for his own safety after he was stumbling around.
Actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin are among dozens of people criminally charged today in a sweeping college admissions bribery scandal. Justice Department officials say they were part of a scam that offered students near perfect college admission test scores or a fake athletic profile to secure them a spot at elite colleges. Joy Benedict reports from the campus of USC.
Federal prosecutors say wealthy parents used a nationwide bribing scheme to get their children into some of the most elite universities in the country, including Yale, Georgetown, Stanford, and USC.
These parents are a catalog of wealth and privilege.
In a 23-page indictment, federal prosecutors charged about 50 people, including 9 athletic coaches. The mastermind, William Rick Singer, allegedly took in $25 million in bribes.
Numerous parents paid Singer between $15,000 and $75,000 to have someone either take the exam for their child or to correct their child's answers afterward.
Another way in, fabricating a student's profile, turning a non-athletic student into a recruited member of a university's athletic team.
In many instances, Singer helped parents take staged photographs of their children engaged in particular sports.
Actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin are among 33 parents charged. Court documents show that Huffman paid $15,000 disguised as a charitable donation so someone could secretly change answers on her daughter's college entrance exam. Authorities say her husband, actor William H. Macy, was aware. As for Loughlin, court papers show that she and her husband paid $500,000 to have their two daughters recruited to the USC crew team, despite the fact that they do not participate in crew. Prosecutors say the universities are not co-conspirators. Here at USC, two current employees have been charged with this scandal, leaving the university to conduct an internal investigation. In fact, USC says it plans to review its entire admissions process. Prosecutors say the true victims in this are the hardworking students who play by the rules.
For every student admitted through fraud, an honest, genuinely talented student was rejected.
No students were charged in the scheme. Authorities say in many cases, the students were not aware of their parents' actions. Joy Benedict, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are calling for the grounding of all Boeing 737 MAX passenger flights following Sunday's deadly plane crash in Ethiopia. Singapore joined a growing number of countries, including Britain and Germany, that have either grounded the MAX jets or banned them from their airspace until the crash investigation is complete. Southwest and American Airlines are still operating their 737 MAX 8 fleets, and United Airlines is continuing to operate its longer 737 MAX 9s. The FAA says it does not have enough data from Sunday's crash to take action yet, but will if the investigation indicates it needs to do so.
These planes are accidents waiting to happen.
It makes sense to ground an aircraft that's been involved in two very tragic accidents in only 6 months.
In a statement, Boeing says, quote, "We have full confidence in the safety of the MAX, and based on the information currently available, we do not have any basis to issue new guidance to operators." Lawmakers say passengers who don't want to fly on a MAX should be able to switch flights free of charge.
The Madison mayoral election is 3 weeks from today, and incumbent Paul Soglin's opponent got a major endorsement today. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi says he is backing Satcher Conway. Parisi, a Democrat, has served as the county executive since 2011. Parisi, who has worked with Soglin on many fronts, says he is endorsing Satcher because he believes she can take the city to, quote, the next level. But another Dane County official, Sheriff Dave Mahoney, has endorsed Paul Soglin. And former Vice President Joe Biden hints that he could be closer to announcing a presidential run for 2020 at a gathering in Washington. Greeted with cheers of support, former Vice President Biden appeared before the International Association of Firefighters, hinting about a possible presidential run.
Save it a little longer. I may need it in a few weeks.
Joe Biden is, I think that strikes fear in a lot of Republicans. He can speak to those states that President Trump won.
Biden has the biggest name recognition as former President Barack Obama's vice president. He already leads several polls among likely Democratic voters for the 2020 primary elections, including a Monmouth University poll released Monday. Multiple sources tell CBS News Biden is in the final stages of preparing for a 2020 campaign and is expected to formally make an announcement by mid-April.
Stay tuned. Well, still to come at 4, chances are if you went to college, you racked up some loans.
And many former students are paying for those loans long after graduation.
Americans have more than $1 trillion in college loan debt. I'm Hillary Lane with a look at how students can avoid some of those costs.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4. At her
Welcome back. Britain's parliament has dealt a major blow to Prime Minister Theresa May.
Lawmakers resoundingly rejected her Brexit deal just 17 days before the UK is due to leave the European Union. They voted by 391 to 242. The House of Commons threw out the agreement by an overwhelming majority in January, sending May back to the EU to seek changes. The vote came after May implored lawmakers to back her EU divorce agreement. Her voice reduced to a raw whisper after days of frantic Brexit diplomacy.
The danger for those of us who want to deliver, to have faith with the British public and deliver on their vote for Brexit, is that if this vote is not passed tonight, if this deal is not passed, then Brexit could be lost.
May had announced changes on Monday designed to overcome lawmakers' concerns about provisions designed to ensure the border on the island of Ireland remains open after Brexit.
Stocks were mixed on Wall Street as Boeing aircraft shares take a hit. The Dow Industrials fell 96 points, closing at 25,554. The Nasdaq Composite Index managed a 32-point gain, and the S&P 500 added 8. Well, college students graduate with an average debt of more than $28,000.
And for many, it can be a big struggle to pay it off. Hillary Lane reports.
Megan Combs went to college to pursue her dream of working in the arts. But at age 32, she's still struggling to pay for her education.
I just want to get this paid. I just want to be in the clear. I'm so tired of this debt.
To get her master's degree, she took out $61,000 in loans and has made nearly $27,000 in payments. But because those payments were too small to cover the interest, she now owes $66,000.
I should have read the fine print on every single one of my loans.
Megan is far from alone. Student debt topped $1.5 trillion at the end of 2018.
One of the great rules of thumb is to say, what do I think I will earn in the first year that I graduate? And then make that be the limit as to how much you would borrow in total for your education.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is the author of The Dumb Things Smart People Do with Their Money. She says students can negotiate tuition and other assistance when a college accepts them.
You can say, I got a better offer from another school. Can you match it? Can you help me? Is there a work-study program that's available? Are there scholarships that I should be looking at? And ask for a reduction.
For students who graduated with federal student loans, there are a number of repayment options.
I'm able to pay about $900 a month on it. You know, that is really stretching me as thin as I can possibly go.
Megan left the art world and now works at a tech startup, but she's still struggling to pay off her debt. Hillary Lane, CBS News, New York.
That's scary.
Huge problem, yeah.
It is. Well, if you're thinking about buying your teen their first car, don't panic.
Consumer Reports had some great advice from their auto experts who remember their first cars as teenagers. That's coming up after Dana's forecast. We'll be right back.
Take a look at this. Don't be fooled. That's Snow Mustang. It's a Snow Mustang. A Nebraska state trooper found the replica car. And if you look closely, the officer put a fake ticket on the snowmobile. A businessman in Omaha and his 2 teenage kids created the masterpiece after shoveling the neighbors' driveways. They sculpted it to look like the 1967 Ford Mustang GTA that they store in their garage. It took them about 5 hours to complete.
That is really impressive.
That is impressive.
Very cool. Well, here's a hair-raising tale or a hair-growing tale.
Very cool. A schoolgirl in Kiev has set the new record for hair length. She's 15 years old and has never, ever cut her hair.
Look at that.
Oh, that gives me hair envy.
Oh my
Serious
gosh,
hair
it's
envy.
beautiful. They had a hair measuring ceremony, and Olena's hair is over 7 feet 6 inches long. Her braids are so long that she can step on them when she is standing up straight. It's Rapunzel in real life.
How do you take care of that?
Oh, I don't know.
A team.
And look at how healthy it is. It's so pretty.
She's 15.
Yeah.
She's using the right kind of shampoo.
Yes.
How long's your hair ever been?
Oh my. I didn't cut it till I was in like 3rd or 4th grade, so it was definitely like down past like my shirt.
Really?
And, yeah, it was very, very long when I was little.
Yeah, I had long hair when I was little too,
Yeah.
but not for years and years and years. Yeah, how about you?
Well, I had that big perm, remember?
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Back in the 80s. I'll show you pictures sometime.
Oh, they're great. They're great pictures.
We'll leave that for later.
Right, now I'm curious. We're talking about rain with the forecast. Of course, that's the focus for tonight all the way through Friday morning. We'll take a look at what's ahead in just a few minutes.
Get what?
So we have added alert days to the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday. We're expecting our showers to start up tonight, and we're going to continue to see them all the way into early Friday morning. Showers with a few isolated thunderstorms possible, of course, on Wednesday. So little areas of flooding possible for us. And the same goes for Thursday, as we'll continue to see rain showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two. and some light isolated areas of flooding. So we are looking at already at the western edge of the state, some light rain in spots, drizzle in other spots. You get up towards La Crosse, looks like some pretty steady rain for us. In Madison, it's still dry outside, but it is cloudy and windy. Those showers are going to continue to move east, and we are going to just have off and on showers again for the next few days. Our high pressure that was keeping us fairly calm is now shifted east. This area of low pressure is just going to track through the plains and up to the northern Midwest, and we are all going to be dealing with quite an active few days as we continue to see those showers just push on up towards us. By Wednesday afternoon, we'll have another band of some heavier rain slide through, and that one may bring a few isolated thunderstorms with it. And then we're looking ahead to Thursday, and we'll continue to see showers as that area of low pressure again gets even closer for us. So a little closer look at what we're expecting as far as rain goes. That system pushes showers, and tonight we will continue to see showers into early Wednesday morning, and then by Wednesday afternoon we have the potential for some heavier rainfall and some isolated thunderstorms. Thursday we start off with some showers, may see a little bit of a break before rain comes back in later on in the evening, and then overnight Thursday into Friday morning we'll slowly transition from showers to some mixed precipitation, and then maybe even some flurries or light rain early on in the day on Friday. Now we aren't really expecting any snow accumulation with those flurries coming through early on Friday, but you may still see a few snowflakes swirling around. Our concern, of course, still the isolated flooding that will be possible, as our precipitation total is still hovering close to about an inch possible for us around Madison, and that's with all of our storm drains, not all of them, but quite a few blocked right now with all the snow and the ice that we have on the ground. So we do have a flood watch that starts up Wednesday morning, goes all the way through Thursday night into Friday morning, as you can see for the entire state over into Minnesota and Iowa as well. We're all kind of in the same boat with a frozen ground, quite a snowpack on top, and more rain coming through. With the warming temperatures, it's going to lead to a lot of water running through the streets and then adding themselves into the rivers and streams for us over the next several days. So again, the showers will really start to shift into Madison later on this evening, just within the next few hours. Overnight temperatures will stay above freezing. As we head into your Wednesday, plan on scattered showers through the morning and then that heavier rainfall later in the afternoon, and it'll come through yet again in the evening. Just a saturated few days for us, with skies staying cloudy even when it's not raining outside. Temperatures tonight staying above freezing, landing at about 37, so we don't drop much from where we're at right now. We just have a pretty cloudy sky, so our temperatures won't cool down. We may see some patchy fog overnight. Our breeze staying from 5 to 15 or 8 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow, high temperatures in the low 50s for us for your Wednesday. It will be just a little breezier outside. That wind speed anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour, but still milder with our temperatures. And of course, the concern, rain and thunderstorms popping up throughout the afternoon. The alert days are for Wednesday and Thursday. It'll be a little stormy outside for both days. And looking ahead to Thursday, we may be crossing up close to 60 as that warm air really settles in. Friday, those flurries coming through only in the morning. They'll be phasing out of there fairly early on in the day, and then we'll have a little bit of sunshine later, but it is going to be a little cooler outside for Friday afternoon. Saturday and Sunday, it becomes a little more seasonal. Temperatures in the low 40s as we head into next week. And we're not really looking at another big system sliding through for next week. So we'll get through this one and then we'll have a little bit of time to kind of dry out.
Maybe we'll see some green poking through, get rid of some of this snow.
That's what it sounds like.
You know, at noon, Chris Reese said this will be the first weekend of the year without rain.
Yes.
Or snow or something.
Any sort of precipitation. It's
been the entire year.
That puts it in perspective. That's interesting.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
What? This just, that's not the perm. Okay, that's.
What? Well, that's not the perm we were talking about, but that's another great picture.
That's the hair.
That was the John Denver.
Yeah, that's exactly what you look like. That's a great shot, Mark. We'll find the perm picture.
Are you going to bring the beard back?
I would be as gray as Santa.
That's fine.
You know,
That's
it's not coming. It's not coming back.
I think it should.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Well done getting that picture. That was quick.
That was fast.
Well, think your child getting their first driver's license is scary. What about buying their first car? Car crashes are the leading cause of death for teens ages 16 to 19.
So it's no wonder, but don't fret. The experts at Consumer Reports were once teenagers themselves and has some advice on how to go about buying your teen their first car.
Remember your very first car? Consumer Reports asked its auto test experts to remember theirs.
It was a 1988 Subaru GL Coupe, manual transmission, and I loved this car.
My first car was a 1985 pickup truck. A friend of mine liked to refer to it as a rolling death trap.
1966 Chevy 2 Nova SS Super Sport. Your safety equipment is a seatbelt, and it's a lap belt.
Gone are those days. When it comes to buying cars for teens, Consumer Reports picks safety over style.
You don't want a car that's really fast, that's just going to entice young drivers to get in trouble.
So, no sports cars. Instead, go for mid-size sedans or smaller SUVs. Avoid minivans, large SUVs, and trucks. They're harder to handle and hold more passengers, which can be distracting.
Most parents are going to buy used. Buy as much safety as your budget will allow you to afford.
When I was buying cars for my kids, I was definitely looking for airbags and stability control to keep them on snowy roads.
And keep them in their intended path. Also opt for forward collision warning that alerts drivers of obstacles or vehicles in front, and automatic emergency braking that senses a collision and applies the brakes if you don't. Like it or not, kids will be tempted to use their phones in the car, but Bluetooth lets them use phones hands-free.
Call Mom.
So they keep their eyes on the road. And as for those first cars,
Nostalgic. It just brings back memories of high school.
for News 3 Now, this is Leah Lynchide.
And if you're looking for which specific cars Consumer Reports recommends for teens, you can find a whole list of both new and used ones in the report. There's a link on channel3000.com. And we're looking back at our first cars.
Yeah.
I had a 1970 Opel Kadett. This is not the car, but that's the beauty right there.
That is sweet.
Talk about safety.
Now, that's the car you got your first traffic ticket in? Your first and only traffic ticket.
They said I was going 74 miles an hour in that car, which is impossible.
And I had an 80s vintage Plymouth Champ.
Ooh.
Again, not that car, but that like
Nice.
That. Yeah, that was a sweet ride.
It's a sweet ride. Times have changed.
Oh, man.
All right, when we come back, we are hitting the road with Harvey Briggs.
It might not qualify for your teen's first car, but when we come back, we'll find out what Harvey thinks of the all-new Lexus UX 200. It's a little baby crossover. We'll go behind the wheel with Harvey and Mark when Live at 4 continues. has been a tidal wave of new crossover SUVs of all shapes and sizes hitting the market.
One of the latest trends are smaller, more budget-friendly entries wearing luxury brands like the Lexus UX200. Let's check it out as we go behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs.
It's a baby Lexus.
Oh, little baby Lexus.
It's a baby Lexus UX. It's their newest car, and it's really designed for the millennial market, so no stick shift, and it's for urban environments.
Lexus says the UX stands for Urban Explorer.
When you get into cities, you know, cities like Chicago, like New York, it's really hard to have a bigger car. And so if you want a luxury ride in that kind of environment, then this package, this size works really well.
If you're familiar with the Toyota CHR, then this UX may strike some chords.
This is built on the same platform as the CHR. They do a number of things. They add sound insulation, retune the suspension, wheels, tires, completely different sheet metal, but it's still the same size and basic packaging.
The engine's the same?
Engine's the same. It's 169 horsepower, 2-liter, 4-cylinder engine. Gives it enough power, but not crazy. This has, again, that little higher body style, so it is that crossover or compact utility vehicle.
And it's a Lexus.
And it's a Lexus, so it has all the Lexus goodness inside.
And there's goodness inside.
Yeah, very much so.
Take a look. So inside,
you've got everything that makes a Lexus a Lexus, including the really cool startup screen.
So you're not giving any Lexus-ness up.
Lexus-ness, no. This has all the Lexus-ness you want in a vehicle.
Things like the center armrest. It opens both ways so the driver and passenger can use it. It's the same space. It has an instrument panel that moves, but the seats are not leather. Lexus calls them New Lux Leatherette.
It's not leather, but it's not your father's vinyl either. So if you're a vegan, you can drive this car.
No animals were harmed in the production of this car.
That's it. This is an interesting feature here is the radio controls, instead of being on the dash, are now here. And this actually works really well. You've got a scroll wheel here for volume, and you've got a tuning knob here. And I can operate this with my hand here and never have to take my eyes off the road.
And then you have this other touchpad.
Yes, the touchpad, and we've talked about this in other Lexus vehicles. It's still not my favorite system.
Speaking of the audio system, they're going after millennials, right?
Right.
And it's got a CD player? What millennial plays CDs?
Well, maybe it's for us old guys who might occasionally buy this car.
Maybe. The UX200 is front-wheel drive only unless you upgrade to the hybrid version. That adds about $2,000 and all-wheel drive. The base UX200 is $32,000. Our loaded-up F Sport trim checked in right around 40 grand.
That's a nice-looking car.
Yeah, it is. It's small, though. It's deceptively small.
The interior is really something.
It's a Lexus.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you, Harvey. When we come back, turning off the technology.
Unplugging from our busy digital world can be like spring break for your brain. Psychologist Shyla Murgain is here. She'll join us when Live at 4 continues.
we're starting to see just a few slowdowns on the Beltline. Thankfully, westbound doesn't look too bad. Eastbound, though, this is a look right at Todd Drive, starting to see traffic slow down just a little bit the further you get just east of Todd Drive on the eastbound side. Again, the Beltline, we're seeing those speeds reduced quite a bit over towards Gammon Road. Things are fine at about 58 miles per hour, but we're down to 28 closer to Todd, and then up closer to 33 miles per hour. So speeds pick up just a little bit the closer you get to 30 and 39. But no accidents along the Beltline right now, nor downtown. Paradis Zach looks okay. Up towards the Dells, everything looks just fine. Going through Dodgeville towards Platteville, we're not seeing any major delays. And near Janesville, things look pretty okay as well throughout Rock County. Jefferson County doesn't look too bad. A few little slowdowns there near Fort Atkinson, but that's just about it. So the usual drive times for us still in place. It'll take you just about 7 minutes to get northbound on Verona or from Verona to the Beltline. From Oregon to the Beltline, about 7 minutes as well. And then from Springfield to University Avenue, it'll be about a 4-minute drive. Right now, again, the roads seem to be okay. We're looking at a little light rainfall towards the edge of Grant County, the western edge of Grant County, but no rain moving into Madison just yet. That's a quick look at your traffic.
Can you count backwards for me, please? Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
To be fair, Michelle did just ask her daughter, Abigail, to count backwards, and that's exactly what the little one did.
Oh, she is priceless. Isn't she so cute?
It's funny. We are bombarded with information all the time. Text messages, email, TV shows, social media. It can be exhausting.
Yeah, and overwhelming. But so taking periods of time away from technology, and more specifically, away from negative information, is actually very good for you. UW Health distinguished psychologist Shyla Morgaine is back with us today with some suggestions. Hi, Shyla. Good to see you.
Great to be back.
I noticed you're on your phone in that bunk.
Yes,
You're going to yell,
exactly.
unplug. But the research really bears this out, that taking a break can have significant benefits for you.
Very much so. One study showed that 73% of Americans feel information overload, that more is coming at them than they have time available to deal with it. And if we look at some of the research, one, people feel less socially connected when you're on your phone, or even the mere presence of a phone, even if it's turned off, upside down at a table, people feel less connected and close during a conversation. So I should put this phone away, I think. So I'm going to do that. Second, we find that when we're plugged in all the time, there can be increased stress and less productivity. We don't multitask we don't do well when we're multitasking and texts are flying in or emails are popping up, or we're self-interrupting by checking social media. And so it can be helpful to have uninterrupted periods of time. And then lastly, people report less happiness when this social comparison that can happen if we're checking things like Facebook or other social media platforms. We can feel like, oh, I'm missing out, or everyone else has a better life. You know, I'm feeling alone, stuck at home, not on that holiday vacation that so-and-so is on. So it can be good to take a break from time to time.
Yeah, people just post the good stuff online, not the bad stuff. So you suggest taking a digital detox day.
Exactly. Try one day, and if you feel one day feels too much, take 1 hour, but instead put the phone away, put the screens away, and spend time with people one-on-one, or get out in nature, or take a road trip, or just go somewhere without your phone, and you might be surprised by what you notice, what you experience. You'll be in the moment, and research shows the happiest times are when we're fully present in the moment, unplugged.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever taken like a digital detox for a period of time?
Yeah.
It feels really good, doesn't it?
And it was not by choice. We're way up north. And
oh yeah, well maybe
no
it's sport. But you do start to feel better. If you take a little bit of a break from it. I guess after a little while you start to feel like you're losing touch with what's going on. But every little bit helps, right?
Yeah, people often describe it as their mind clears.
Yeah.
You know, the stress level settles, and there's a kind of an openness again that can be created, some spaciousness.
So if you can't go cold turkey, maybe set some limits.
Exactly. I always encourage people not to check their data in the morning. The first thing we often do is reach for our phone, or an hour before bedtime to really improve sleep quality. Put the phone away, put the screens away, and do something relaxing instead. And with kids, I think it's so helpful to model for our youth not being on your phone all the time. So if you're standing in line in the grocery store with your kids, don't reach for your phone, or at the stoplight in the car, don't reach for your phone. Really be mindful about when you're going to your phone or turning on a screen. And you might be surprised the urge comes up a lot. You don't have to give in to that urge. Instead, just be present and notice life around you.
But you're waiting in line at the grocery store. You can't waste that time just standing there. Check your email, right?
Exactly. I think that's people's rationale. But you might notice people in line or start a conversation and build that connectivity that I think we're all longing for, that gadgets don't give. You know, we can instantaneously connect with somebody through a text, but it's really the face-to-face, human-to-human, eye contact that's so meaningful and really, really impacts our overall well-being.
Yeah, it's going to get worse and worse as we go along, so good advice. And you have an upcoming free talk at Dream Bank on East Washington Avenue in Madison here. It's next Thursday, March 21st, 6:15 p.m. The topic? Forgiveness.
What is forgiveness freeze? What are you talking about?
Yeah, that we'll be talking about the pathways to forgiveness. And when we release a grudge, you know, something we've been holding on to, the person that it frees is actually ourselves. And we are lighter and have, you know, just more happiness.
Oh, that's wonderful.
More good advice.
Yes.
Charlotte, thanks for being with us today.
Great to see you.
Oh,
See you
great to
next
be
time.
here.
And we'll be right back with the final check your forecast.
At her
The rain's coming.
It is. It's already picking up for us on the western edge of the state. There you can see we're seeing showers towards Prairie du Chien and in Lone Rock and near Platteville right now. La Crosse, of course, seeing some heavier rainfall. That's going to continue to move east. We'll have rain here in Madison in just a little bit. Temperatures over the next few hours will drop a bit. We'll be in the upper 30s, though, for our overnight lows. It's not going to drop too much for us overnight. We do have a flood watch for this evening all the way through Friday morning, as this rain is going to come in and stay with us for a few days.
All right, be careful out there. Thank you, Dana. We'll be right back.
Well, we've seen tomato wars, orange wars, but